Thanks for joining us today, Jason.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. And Metal Monkey Brewing, beer and music. That's what we're all about here on Rock 95.5. Awesome. We love it. So in order to get to the beginning of Metal Monkey Brewing, I need to get to the beginning of your career as a brewer, which would start with your first ever alcoholic beverage.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. I want to hear it, though.
Sure, I wasn't supposed to be having my first alcohol beverage when I did, but
we won't tell.
Yeah, high school, try some stuff out, have a beer here and there, and college life, and
don't be shy, Jason. We know that there's a story here. You're holding out. I want to hear it.
Me and my friends used to, sneak some beer and drink behind the pool in the shed at my parents' house, and make do it, get the garbage, throw it away somewhere else in a neighbor's yard, and pretend like nothing ever happened.
Yes. What were you drinking?
Oh, probably really bad beer. I can't remember, but I do remember going into freshman year of college and, someone offering to buy me, a 6-pack of beer, and they're like, "What do you want?" At the time, I was like, "I'll take Red Dog," and they're like, "Okay, here you go, good luck."
And then one day you were like, "There's got to be a better way to live than this. Right. I can make something better." So then, how did you come to decide that you wanted Metal Monkey to even be a thing, and brewing was a thing in your life?
Yeah, I mean, fast forward to, I would say, my 30s, and I had a few friends and coworkers who had dabbled in home brewing, and I was slowly getting into craft beer, and some people had suggested I was looking for kind of a hobby to do in my spare time, and I figured I'd give it a shot. I was getting into, like I said, I was getting into craft beers. I've always been a big hoppy beer guy, a big Pilsner guy, so started trying a lot of different beers and started researching how to make beer at home. And family had chipped in one Christmas to buy me like the homebrew kit, and they kind of started to do it once every now and again. And right before we opened up Metal Monkey Brewing, I was probably brewing every weekend or every other weekend, and just kind of tried as many different things and different recipes and formulas as we could to come up with some new creative beers and things that I like to drink. And my business partners did the same thing as well. They were also home brewers, so they were brewing at home. We were brewing together. We joined a home brew club in Joliet, nearby where where Metal Monkey's located, which is in Romeoville. And we met. Actually, the other owner and myself, we never knew each other until maybe, what is it now, probably 10 years ago. We met through the home brew club. We kind of hit it off. Similar personalities. Grew up, ironically, about 10 minutes from each other as kids, and never knew each other.
Wow.
And then we just both hated our corporate jobs and wanted to do something. And we were really into making beer and drinking beer. So we talked about it. And like a lot of home brewers, we wanted to open our own brewery. And then you realize what goes into it. We were like, hell no. And then a couple of years later, we're like, we need to stop working for corporate America. So we started to go down the path of actually making what we thought was our dream into reality.
That's amazing. So tell me about the name Metal Monkey.
Sure. So myself and the other guy who are the current owners, we're big into heavy metal music of all kinds, from classic to doom, stoner, heavy, all, we run the gamut. One of the other guys who's no longer part of the company, but he used to collect a lot of little trinkets, little monkeys. Like anything that had a monkey on it, he would collect. And we were always trying to figure out a name, so we just kind of mashed it together, and Metal Monkey Brewing was born.
Now, I saw that you guys are having live music come back.
We do. We do live music. So on like usually 2 or 3 Saturdays a month, we'll have, full bands, light and sound. And on Friday nights, we'll do a little bit more acoustic, alternative, classic rock, a little bit slower, not as loud and heavy. Try to appeal to a few, different genres, different people. But if you come into our brewery, there's always metal of some kind playing. You'll find hundreds of monkeys everywhere, whether they're stuffed animals, games, pictures, T-shirts. There's just a lot of weird trinkets and things around that we have that people have either given it to us, or we found ourselves at garage sales and throw it up on the shelf in the tap room, and it kind of just adds that character to it.
Yes, like the knickknacks that your grandma had, but like badass.
Yeah, we have. There's it's not. A lot of the stuff has been put away with COVID, and some of it's coming back and going away. But we have a little lounge area with recliners, TV, and classic NES games. And there's probably 3 or 4 dozen little stuffed monkeys and large ones that people have given us for our first anniversary. One of our regular one of our first customers actually gave us a Build-A-Bear monkey,
Oh,
like a Build-A-Bear monkey bear for a birthday. And so a lot of people bring in silly things for us when we were
that's
out
dedication
right.
to
We were
go
out
out of your way.
years ago. We found a monkey wearing an astronaut outfit, so we bought it and brought it back to the brewery.
That's amazing. So obviously you have customers that are incredibly dedicated that are going to Build-A-Bear and making you
Yeah.
monkeys, which is
Oh yeah.
absolutely incredible. So do you have a story in your mind that sticks out of a customer story that maybe touched you or maybe laughed or maybe like this was just an insane experience that I had with this person that walked into this brewery?
Oh, we hear and see a lot because, yeah, as owners, and we know I'm myself and the other guy Dan, we are both the owners. We run the business. We make the beer. Due to staff shortages and kind of furloughs over the last year and a half, we've also been bartending. But when we first opened up too, because the budget was next to nothing at the time, we were bartending as well. So you hear and see a lot of stories that people don't realize. I don't think you can hear them, and they're awkward, they're uncomfortable, and you just go, okay, and you walk away, or you look up and you go, hey, I can hear you, and they're like, oh shit, sorry.
Oh, have you done that to someone? Have you been like, I'm here.
Yeah,
I know what you
when we first started, we had we didn't have a dishwasher, so we washed all of our dishes, our glasses manually. So it was in the corner, and there was a couple sitting in front of the corner out for a night, and I'm washing dishes, and I guess they thought I couldn't hear them. They were kind of having an inappropriate conversation about their plans for later tonight. And I looked up and I was like, hey, I can hear you. And they're like, oh. And I was like, I'll be back in a few minutes. And I walked away. So
did they ever come back? Because if that happened to me, I think I'd be like, I can't go back there ever again.
Yeah, it was years ago, so I can't even remember who it was. But, we've seen stories, we've seen people, and it's fun, it's entertaining, to say the least.
At some point, people just can't even be worried anymore because you've heard everything. No one can shock you.
You hear and see everything. You hear and see a lot at between the tap room or even going to beer fest. The tail end of a beer fest gets pretty entertaining that last half hour when everyone's rushing to get as many beers in as they can and are not very sober a lot of times.
No, not even a little bit. So what do you guys have on the docket for the rest of 2021? Obviously, I imagine most of the first half of 2021 was spent recouping from last year.
Yeah, we're pushing forward. We're like I said, we're trying to do at least 2 Fridays a month where we do the acoustic music, 2 Saturdays where we have full bands. We do food trucks on Fridays and Saturdays. Typically, we're trying to get more bands and shows in. We do tribute bands. We do a lot of local original Chicago bands. We do regional bands. So we're kind of just keeping that live aspect going because we know that at least when we started doing it earlier this year, Chicago really hadn't done any live shows yet. Suburbs were doing some here and there. So, that's been our thing for years anyway. And we want to keep going. And, we're obviously following all the safety and health protocols that we are required to and that we feel necessary. We're cleaning like crazy. I mean, we clean like crazy anyway, because that's part of brewing is everything has to be sanitary anyway. So we're a very clean business to begin with pre-COVID anyway. So we're continuing with that and just trying to get people to continue to come out, and enjoy themselves. We got a big patio outside too. So, this type of year is really good. We got fire pits outside. So we try to offer a little bit for everybody. We do art markets sometimes. We did one over the summer. We got one coming up in October on the 9th. A couple dozen really unique, awesome local small vendors that, from barbecue sauce to, our guy who does our beer labels, John Bickness, he's a really talented artist and he does a lot of horror movies and comic books now and stuff. So we get some of those fun events that kind of cater to just a very wide base of people.
Yeah. There's literally something for everyone.
Yeah, we try to keep the metal involved some way or music involved some way, whether it's, like I said, acoustic music playing while the art market's going on outside, or, we're talking about for Oktoberfest to kind of steer away from the traditional German Oktoberfest, and maybe we go with like a thrash Oktoberfest, a Thrashtoberfest, or something like that, where we kind of just kick in the doors and blast the music.
Yes, it fits the jack-o'-lantern aesthetic. I feel like those things go together anyway. Do it. So I want to get in to the beer a little bit. Can you tell me about the brewing philosophy that you guys have at Metal Monkey?
Yeah, we like to run the gamut as far as beer styles. We usually have right around 16 beers, sometimes up to 20, sometimes it's 12, but we'll run the gamut from light to hoppy to fruity to dark. We have a Romeo Pils. That's our traditional German Pilsner. We just came out with a lemon lime version of it for this year. It's so it's a citrusy version, but it's still real light. Hoppy beers. We do a lot of fruited sour beers. Sour beers are real popular, especially in the summertime. We have Bikini Bottom is one of our pineapple goes that is really popular. We do the hoppy, the hazy, big stouts, the barrel aged beer. So we try to always have a couple different beers from different styles, whether it's you're new to craft beer or you're a hardcore craft beer girl from, last 15, 20 years and you want to try something different,
Yeah, you guys like flavor. You're not doing water beers.
No, we try to do everything we can, but we also try to have the philosophy that if we have 16 taps, 12 of them are IPAs.
Yes.
While everybody likes them, we try to have a couple light ones, a couple fruity ones, a couple, sours, dark, try to get a little bit of everything for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, is there anything that we didn't touch on that you want to get out into the world?
We're passionate about what we do. We're small, we're local. We only have a handful of employees right now, but we're cranking out as much beer as we can. You can find our beer at the White Sox, at Craft Cave, a lot of local. Most of our distribution is suburbs still, restaurants and bars within, that 25-mile radius of our tap room in Romeoville, but we branch out a lot. We're helping do a thing down at Reggie's in the city in September. We're talking about going out to Knotfest in Iowa for their show to pour beer. So there's a lot of different, we try to get ourselves out there, and we support local. We like to support other local businesses and artists and restaurants, and we're all kind of in it together right now. So we're just out there helping each other as much as we can.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for hanging with us today,
Thanks
Jason.
for having us. Thank you so much.